Yes, sir. Phanto, man, I'm back again. And it feels good to be back, man. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. The NoFap community, there's no community on YouTube, bro, that shows love like the NoFap community. I don't know, NoFap, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. Nobody shows love like the NoFap community, bro. And I feel like NoFap has got a bad, like, people have started to be like, with No Nut November and all this different stuff, they're like, oh, on day 38, I started, learning Chinese or whatever. I started levitating, I talked to God and all this other stuff. And people start to it became a meme. I mean, it still is a meme. It's funny. I'll admit that. This shit is funny. The stuff is funny. I'm not cussing anymore. It's funny. But I feel like there's a level of, like, people really don't want to believe that it's true. Because they see all these comments that are like, man, on day 50, I was confident. On day 10, I was, walking and my voice got deeper. My skin cleared up and I was, this happened and women were this and that. And my life got better. And people are like, nah, we got to make a meme out of this, bro, because this can't be real. It's like they're scared that it low-key might be true. Like, nah, no way these people are actually... Anyway, that's just something I want to get off my chest, bro. It really does work. I already made a number of videos talking about that. It really does work. But today I was going to talk about pornography, because in my last video, I said how... I think I was talking about pornography, how I got back into pornography. That was the toughest one to get out of, bro. Drugs, alcohol, nicotine, bro. The hardest one is pornography, because you're always with yourself. Masturbation, all that stuff, you don't need a single thing. You have your imagination, you are fine, right? Nicotine, you need a cigarette, you need a vape. Alcohol, you need, drinks and whatnot. Drugs, you need the actual physical drug. That sexual desire is always right here, bro. Always right here. That's the toughest one to overcome. The most difficult one for me, at least, to overcome. And if you ever seen a movie Fight Club with Brad Pitt, I highly recommend y'all watch that. Fight Club, Tyler Durden talks about how men nowadays, we have no Great War, we have no Great Depression, but that our Great War is a spiritual war, bro. And the main driving factor or force in that spiritual war is pornography, bro. 100% is. It's one of the most, I don't know the word, unmasculating, demasculating, whatever. It's one of the most demasculating things that a man could do. Think about a man you respect, bro. A man you respect. An idol, a high value man, whatever you want to portray in your mind. Could you imagine that man jacking off? I don't imagine men jacking off, personally speaking. Personally. But you couldn't imagine. It's like, this dude doesn't have a porn addiction, bro. This dude's not jacking off. Like, it's such a pathetic thing to do. It's like, bro, this guy is jacking off. It just seems so pathetic. I always thought that it was pathetic. You always felt pathetic. Like, if you looked in a mirror while you jacked off, it's like, bro, this is so like you just feel like an animal. You don't feel like a high, intelligent, conscious human being. You feel like you devolved a little bit. And but it makes sense. It's like you're giving into your urges, into your bodily urges, your animalistic urges. It's like you're not really breaking through any barriers. You're going down a couple of stairs, you're not going anywhere. And I was thinking, bro, in times of real war, and I made a video a while back. I don't know if I talked about this, but I talked about something similar, bro. It was when I had white hair. I might go back to the look. I'm on my anime redemption arc, I'm coming back different. But I was talking about how if you're giving the body everything that it needs, you're masturbating, pornography, all this stuff, the brain can't tell the difference, bro. And I talked about this before, low-key embarrassing, how I had erectile dysfunction, right? Numerous occasions, bro. In the past, when I haven't been posting videos, it happened a couple times again, bro. Again, like, had a drop. Oh, I shouldn't even say it, bro. I really shouldn't say it, bro. It's just like, I don't give a fuck. I had to drop this girl off, bro. Girl had to drop me off. I was at her apartment. Wouldn't get hard. She had to drop me off, bro, at my house, bro. What the hell? That's so embarrassing. 20-minute drive. Then picked up a girl, it wouldn't get hard. Had to drive her back to her house. Bro, that if that didn't wake me up, bro, I don't know what the hell would, bro. But the reason I say that, reason I'm talking about erectile dysfunction, like Viagra, Cialis, all this stuff. And a lot of my friends suffer from it. A lot of men suffer from this. It's not just an old man, 70-year-old thing that it's not exclusive to that class of people, bro. This is something a lot of men suffer from. And the main cause is pornography. And the reason I gave in one of my videos, I said how when you watch pornography, bro, your brain can't distinguish between pixels on a screen and a real girl. This is new technology, bro. This isn't something like we're, at the end of the day, yes, we're spiritual beings, but we're also in a human body and have a human brain that has evolved over thousands and thousands of years. And technology and pornography is so new. Even paperback, magazines, Playboy magazines, all this stuff, that's brand new technology in the grand scheme of things, in the larger timeline of humanity. That is brand new, bro. And the brain hasn't really adjusted yet. And if you look at pixels on a screen, the brain doesn't know the difference between that and a real woman. And when you're with a real woman, right, and you're about to have sex, and I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying this is proof of what I'm saying. When you see a woman, and this is what happened with me, and your brain thinks, oh, I'm not attracted to this girl. For whatever reason, it finds some sort of flaw, because when you look at pornography, you're so selective with your browsing. How many of y'all are going page by page by page by page by page by page? You're on like page 28 on the hub looking for a particular video because you watch so much pornography, bro, that your brain's trying to drain the last ounce that it can get out of whatever it is that you're wanting to watch, bro. And I've said that before. I said how you watch pornography, bro, you start off watching very vanilla stuff. Same when you smoke weed, you start smoking a blunt or maybe out of an apple or whatever. You don't go straight to a dab rig. You don't go straight to edibles, or very few people do that. You know what I mean? Or you start doing drugs. The first drug you don't take is damn methamphetamines. You kind of take it slow. Like when you're a baby, you eat baby food. Then over time, you grow bigger, stronger. You're able to eat mashed potatoes, steak, gravy, all that. Same way with pornography. When you first start watching pornography, most people, they watch very vanilla stuff. Maybe some lesbian porn, whatever it is that you're gonna watch, but it's very like basic stuff. And then 10 years later, you're watching like foot fetish, like dominatrix, hentai, tentacle. Like, bro, I hate to say these things, but that's just the reality of the nature. And like I said, bro, my family watched this video, so it's tough to say, but it's just like, you guys get the point. I'm trying to paint a picture here, okay? And it's like, bro, you're giving your body everything that it needs in that moment. It thinks it has all these options. It thinks it has these options. Then when you're with a real girl, your brain is so selective. It goes, oh, I don't want this girl. I want the pinnacle, peak of the peak of the peak. It thinks you're like this high value man, right? Because you can get sex. It thinks it's sex. It can get sex, whenever it wants. It can get pleasure whenever it wants. Why would you even want to improve? Why would your brain tell your body, hey, we need to get better? Bro, your brain's like, oh, we already made it. What do you mean? This guy's getting a bunch of sex. That's like the number one thing that the human body needs. As a male, it's like, oh, you need to spread your genetics to as many people as possible, procreate. That's like one of the number one things that any living organism does. It's like, all right, we need to procreate. I need to spread my seed. I need to continue the prosperity of my genetics or whatever it is. You've already accomplished that. Why would your brain go, oh, you know what? We need to improve. It has no reason to improve. You've tricked your brain. You've hacked into this dopamine system where, oh, I'm getting sex. I'm this high. I'm this great man. And all this, when in reality, you're not. When in reality, you're sitting at home and, you're jacking off into a t-shirt or into a sock, bro. And it's pathetic. Really think about that. That's very, it's a sad thing to do. This is coming from a guy that I've been watching porn for over a decade, bro. Over a decade since I started watching porn. First time I watched porn was like 10 or 11 years old, I think. But bro, it's ridiculous to think about. And then to even take it a step further, bro. Think about when men, and again, I said we're in a human body that's evolutionarily evolved or whatever. That was kind of redundant, but we've grown over a long period of time. When men used to go to war, real war. Life was on the line. You get deployed or whatever, and there's still wars going on today. When men get deployed, there's no women to have sex with, bro. You get what I'm saying? The women are back home getting protected. That's how it's always been since the dawn of time. It was like, all right, the men go and fight the war, the women are going to get protected. The men weren't having sex. The main thing they were focused on was their life. Okay, I need to protect my life. War. So then they come back, they start having sex, like baby boomers and all that stuff. And it's like the brain, sex to the brain is like, okay, I'm safe now. For a man, okay, I'm safe now. I'm in a place where it's safe to do this. You know, I'm back home. There must not be any war. I don't really need to be battle ready. I don't really need any of these other things. And you start to become comfortable, bro. You start to become comfortable. It's like, bro. And even to take it a step further, if you ever looked up The Shadow Self by Carl Jung, a lot of people talk about it. I don't know if I've ever talked about that on my channel before, but if you look at the shadow self, and I don't know who I was talking to about this. I might have just been talking to myself. The shadow self is a part of yourself that you suppress because it was rejected by society. So say you grew up in a very, quiet household, like you're very disciplined. Your mom didn't want you making a lot of noise. Your dad didn't want, you to be like talking that much. So you were very suppressed in your speech. Then the part of yourself that you suppressed is the outgoing version of yourself or whatever. That's like your shadow self. And so when people talk about projection, they say, well, then that person, when they see somebody that's like the center of attention, talking, they have a feeling of resentment towards that person because that person is a projection of their inner self that they've suppressed for so long that they have never been able to really express, So that's why they call it projection. Women love to say that stuff. Oh, you're projecting. People love saying that. I hate when people say, you're projecting. I'm like, what? Anyway, if you look at the shadow self, bro, one of the main ways that it expresses itself is through vices such as pornography, bro, or alcohol. Like that girl who was very, very suppressed in her speech, she gets drunk, all of a sudden, she's dancing on the table. She's able to feel like she can express that part of herself, and that's good to a certain extent. But when you look at pornography, bro, a lot of people, and I'm gonna get real for a second, pedophiles, rapists, people with just very weird fetishes, a lot of that stuff develops through years and years of pornography addiction, bro. That's where it develops. The seed is so small. It would never, in my opinion, a lot of them would not develop if there was no place to develop them. If there was no soil, no water, no area to develop that, I don't think a lot of these people would be pedophiles, rapists, all this other stuff, because they've reached the pinnacle. Like I said, you squeeze all you can get out of pornography. They're watching child porn. They're watching all this crazy stuff. And then now they want, oh, well, what's the next step, bro? Now you're at a point where you've lost control. You had free will once upon a time, but you gave that up once you got addicted to this vice, pornography. And a lot of that stuff develops, bro, through years and years and years of pornography. And like I said, it's like, bro, you have so much at your disposal online. And that's the dark side of pornography people won't talk about, bro. That's the dark side. You have people going, yeah, I watch porn, I did this. There's real porn addicts that are watching disturbing things, just trying to almost like keep up with, or like not have to do the extreme that they're wanting to do, or it's like developing into them wanting to do that extreme thing. It's like, bro, that is the darkest part about pornography, the most dangerous part about pornography, but it's $1 billion industry, bro. It's $1 billion industry. It will never go away. You couldn't imagine a world where pornography will go away. It almost runs the world. Men buy this, women do this to their bodies. Everyone's doing it so that they can look sexually attractive. It's one of the main generators for money in like capitalistic societies like America, Europe, places like that. Bro, it's like the sex drive. It's the sex appeal. It's, plastic surgery. It's Instagram followers. Social media is all about looking like you're a suitable sexual partner. Like it's so ingrained in our DNA, bro. But it's just it's disturbing to think about, bro. And that's why it's helpful to look at pornography in this. I know it's uncomfortable, bro. Trust me, it's so very uncomfortable. But it helps to look at it in a perspective of like, bro, why should I not watch pornography? I'm not saying that you might be a pedophile, or you might be doing this or doing that. But who knows, bro? We're all you don't know yourself until, and like I said, you don't know yourself till you know all of your weaknesses. And part of your shadow self, that is part of your weaknesses. But if it gets to a point where your shadow self starts taking over, then that's when you start doing some disturbing things. You let your emotions get the best of you. You're angry and you do something, right? Like if you're angry and you stab somebody, yeah, you were angry, maybe it wasn't the real you, but you still have to face those consequences. You know what I mean? That's not like a slap on the wrist. You're still gonna have to bear the weight of whatever it was that you did. So it helps to look at things in that perspective, bro. Because until you're in that moment and you're like, man, I want to jack off, I want to do drugs, I want to do this, until you have a reason why that can withstand the urge of whatever it is you want to do, then you will always fall victim to that vice, bro. Every single time. But until you have a reason where you go, bro, I don't want to be this guy. There's a solid wall that you can lean on. It's like in the NBA or in, if you ever seen the NBA, there's like LeBron, Curry, you know. I watch a lot of sports, so I like to relate it to that. It's like if you look at LeBron, Luka, I'm a Mavs fan. I went to their game last night. Bro, they have players that are like their brick wall. It's like, all right, the game's on the line. We need a clutch bucket. You give it to this guy, Dame Lillard, LeBron, Tatum, whoever it is. You give it to that guy, and he's like, all right, he's going to withstand the storm of the crowd, of the other team, of the momentum. Like, he's going to be that guy. In real life, you need to find whatever it is that is, bro. You need to find a reason why. You need to. And if it's a disturbing thing like some of the stuff I've been talking about, then, bro, it's not all that negative. Like, this is stuff that happens in the world, bro. You can't just ignore it. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot just ignore some of these things, bro. And so that was the main thing that I had to do. I had to really understand the dark side of pornography in order to convince myself not to do it. Like, it's far better than the whatever pleasure you're gonna feel in that small window of time. And it's like it's difficult too, because there's no real you know, if you ever see like a cigarette carton or whatever, they're FDA or whatever mandated to say, well, this will cause cancer. You know, this is 20 packs of cancer, or 20 packs, equivalent to 20 packs of cigarettes in a nicotine pod or whatever it is. They're mandated to say that. With pornography and with a lot of these things in life, there's no immediate, even with cancer, it's like that's not even an immediate threat. You might smoke cigarettes for 30, 40 years before you finally are like, oh, I have cancer. Now, yeah, for some people, that's still going to be enough. I mean, that should be enough to not do it, but there's no immediate thing where they go, oh, like, it's not painful. It's not something where, oh, you touch the stove, it's hot, I'm not doing that. Like, it feels good. It's the opposite. It's enticing in the moment, which is even worse. And then things that are good for you are the opposite. You go to the gym, it's painful. You don't see results for a period of time. Eating healthy, you don't see results for a period of time, and it doesn't taste good. And it's like the complete conscience, like everything is flipped, bro. And if you ever read the Bible, they say, woe be the days when ye shall call good evil and evil good. Everything will be flipped. Everything will be swapped. That's how it is today, man. I promise you. It's a sad reality, but pornography is one of the worst things you could do, bro. And I made this video way too long. It's Phanto. I love y'all. Catch you.